welcome back. Um, how's it going, John? You're looking very dapper today.
Thank you. Good. It's going good.
Okay, well that's great. Is that enough small talk? Shall we get into the movie?
Yeah, I don't have anything else to small talk about.
Okay. I'm wondering if it's better for me to close the door and turn on the AC. I'm probably going to do that actually. Hold on one second. Because there's lots of planes flying over.
Lots of Chinese planes.
Lots of Chinese planes flying over.
Lots of jellyfish drones.
Yeah. I never even heard that before. What's a jellyfish drone?
You haven't heard about the jellyfish drones?
No, that sounds like some fucking new American buzzword thing. What's going on with that?
Well, first there was some American jet that was, I guess, shot down during this whole Iran shit. But the pilot survived, and the report online was like, he said like there was this like fucking thing that came at me. It was like an alien creature that like started shooting at me. And it looked like, and he was like, it looked like a jellyfish.
Okay.
And then, so I was like, what the fuck is this thing? And then I started like looking into it. And then there was like something about, and again, I don't know if any of this is fucking real. Who knows what's real anymore? But,
not me. That's for sure.
Then there was like shit about like Chinese scientists like creating like these hybrid like jellyfish with drone and AI technology things, and most of them the majority of them seem to be used for underwater reconnaissance and shit like that. But then now it sounds like there's ones that sort of like float in the air, okay, and shoot shit down. Yeah,
right.
So that's a jellyfish drone. So it's like half sort of organic matter mixed with drone and AI technology.
What? Jesus. That sounds unstoppable.
It's like those fucking squid in the Matrix or something.
Did you ever watch the Animatrix? Like the cartoon Matrix?
Is that thing that you sent me like a couple of those things before? They look like little anime. You sent me one like that was like World War III, and it was like an anime version of Trump arguing with that reporter woman.
Oh no, that's fucking psyop anime. That's just this like right wing guy that makes anime with AI, and it's basically just the news. Like that's where I get all my news now, is just watching psyop anime.
Okay, yeah, I can't keep all this shit. Fucking
the Animatrix was just like this thing that was released. This is not for sure, but I think it was released between like the second Matrix and the third Matrix movie, and it was just like this like a fucking direct to DVD release that happened between the two, and it was like 8 shorts that were done by
animated.
Yeah, they were all animated in different styles, and they were all sort of adjacent to like the Matrix. And one of them, like one of them is by the Eon Flux guy, and like one of them's by like some fucking the guy who did the animated stuff in Kill Bill. One of them's by the Ninja Scroll guy. Like there's quite a bit of Japanese stuff in there, and then there's also one that's like the one that they featured is one that was like the top level like CG animation of the day. That's the gayest one. That's the one that sucks. It's so funny how like that stuff doesn't endure anymore. Like it's the stuff that they lead with, and then it's like, oh, that's in retrospect. And when I say retrospect, I mean I'm talking like maybe, well, I mean I guess I'm talking 10 15 years at this point. But even 5 years later, it was like, oh, that's the worst one. Actually, even at the time, it was like that's the worst one. There's one. The whole point I'm bringing this up is because there's like one portion of that Animatrix thing where they just show like sort of how so like the robots took over the world. How'd that happen? And they actually just show like what happened. And there's a part like, okay, so like they eventually go to war with these robots, and it starts out like it's just they're going to war with just humans and tanks and artillery and stuff, like modern, versus like just robots, like people, like basically like just sort of like robotic men. And then they smash them all, and they use like electric weapons to scramble them and stuff. But then over time, it shows like the progression that like the robots like get better, and they like build better stuff, like and eventually it gets to the point where the technology starts to look all like weird and alien in the way it does in the Matrix. And a lot of like their technology are just these. It's almost like they're like balloons, like they're just like hot air balloons with just like a bunch of machine stuff on the bottom, like tentacles that come down. Fucking jellyfish. I dare you to look at this and not call it a jellyfish drone. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that maybe
that's where we're headed. That's what I thought of when I first heard about it.
The Matrix. Some Chinese guy saw the Matrix, and he was like, "Oh, that's so cool." And then he decided to make the fucking
had an AI drone fuck a jellyfish, and now we're screwed. Just like back in the 80s when a gay guy fucked a monkey, and
the gay guy. It's just like the same thing. The gay guy, he didn't see the Matrix. He saw maybe that fucking Clint Eastwood movie with the fucking orangutan, and he was like,
"Any which way but loose."
Yeah. And he was like, "That's cool." And then he went and fucked.
Wonder what would happen. He's hot.
Yeah, he's hot. Oh my god, I'm such a hot mess. I'm gonna fuck the monkey.
Gotta get a ticket to Borneo.
Yeah, exactly. You can
one way.
It's like that Indonesian. Remember that Indonesian brothel that had like a shaved orangutan?
Oh, absolutely. That's like one of my all-time favorite Vice articles.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I did read that in Vice. I forgot.
That's where it's from.
Right.
It was like some orangutan they had in like the Philippines. It was shaved.
It was in Indonesia. They have Philippines.
Right.
Yeah. Anywho,
maybe it was in little Filipino town in Indonesia.
Yeah, sure. So, okay, hold on one second here. I feel like there's something else to talk about. I don't think so. Oh, I guess like I wanted to ask real quick. Have you seen the original Ghost in the Shell, like the 1995 Ghost in the Shell?
Long time ago.
Yeah. Do you have any fond memories of it, or do you have the same kind of feeling about anime that you do about like everything else? Like ladies and gentlemen, we have a fella here who doesn't even like Akira, who thinks Akira is bad.
When did I say that?
You told me before. You said Akira, it's fucking sucks. And I think it's like the thing is because you think the comic's better or something.
Well, I think the comic is far superior, but I do think the anime is cool. Like it's it's definitely like a milestone of animation. It's interesting, but for me the comic was far more engaging. The story was more interesting. The characters are more fully realized. The story's more fully realized. It's great.
Yeah. The comic's better because it's.
I saw the anime before I read the entire comic, so I did like the anime. But when I finally got my hands on the comic, I think Dark Horse released it. I mean, Marvel put it out before that, but it was like they released it in like the small comic form. So you'd get like 50 pages at a time, and it was hard to get into.
Yeah.
But then
they really tried to juice it.
Then, and it was hard. I feel like I remember it being horribly colored as well.
They do that.
And then, like maybe a decade or two later, Dark Horse finally released the big, thick volumes, and amazing. It really was just like, wow, this is incredible storytelling.
They released them black and white without the coloring.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how all original manga is, and so I think they wanted to keep to that.
Yeah, that's funny how Marvel was just kind of pulling like basically what what's his name, Joel Silver and Jerry Bruckheimer did, like or whoever, or no, fuck, the Weinstein brothers, like how they brought in like Hong Kong movies, but they were like, well, no one's going to want to watch them with this kind of music or with subtitles, so they like went in and kind of just like made them into sort of as American as they possibly could for like the cheapest amount of money.
Well, I think like could, because I mean I'm going to say this was because of Frank Miller, and Frank Miller was clearly like he was clearly a manga fan. He was bringing a lot of those ideas into when he would do Daredevil, and then when he did the Dark Knight Returns, and so there's a lot of heavy manga influences. And then he also started, I think, Dark Horse started releasing Lone Wolf and Cub, but same deal, like in American comic format, and then just sort of like it would be like maybe 50 pages. It was like had kind of a squared off spine, but so Frank Miller would do original covers for each one of the Lone Wolf and Cub books. And then I think like off of that, they were sort of like, oh, let's do this with Akira. And that was, I feel like that came out through Marvel had that adult line of comics at the time called Epic. And they would like republish a lot of Euro shit like Mobius and
Milo Manara.
I don't know if they did Milo Manara, but they did a lot of Mobius and Jodorowsky, Incal stuff. And
all right, Milo Manara, like I always I always just think of like this comic where there's an invisible man.
Fuck. Like butterscotch or something.
Yeah, but it's just like a vagina like opening up, and you don't see the penis, you only see like the vagina opening.
It's brilliant.
So it's really the perfect kind of pornography, or the perfect kind of pornography for a guy who doesn't want to look at another man's dick and balls,
Exactly.
It's like, what can I do to make a pornography a better? To make it perfect.
And then Click 2, which was like he had like a remote control that would like
makes a girl horny.
Yeah,
that
was good too,
for sure. Epic should have released those.
I think they were released like I think Dark Horse was releasing like big Manara collections, and now they're like super expensive. Like they sold out like almost immediately, and now they're like really hard to come by.
Wow, stuff sure used to be cool once upon a time.
Who's
the Milo Manara of today? Are you the Milo Manara of today? You're the last one left after fucking Campground Slut.
Well, I mean, I can't draw like him. He's got a very particular European style.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just that type of work has kind of gone out of fashion.
I know. I used to. I got all that stuff through heavy metal.
Yeah. And a lot of that heavy metal stuff would then be picked up in the Epic magazine that Marvel would publish. Like they would pick up some of those artists, and that was their answer to heavy metal.
Right. Like, what's that? Is his name Jimenez? Do you know who that is? Or Jimenez?
It's not ringing a bell. Did he have a particular comic that he did?
He had one. I can't remember the name of it. He was like a sort of a cyberpunk kind of guy. And then there's also Creepax with Druna.
Yeah, I know that guy. And then there was one of my favorites, that Libator guy, the guy that ran Xerox. It's great.
Yeah. With the girl with really small tits and that ugly face guy.
Yeah, he kind of had like this weird. These weird goggles on, and like a Frankenstein. He was like a Frankenstein guy, and he was like constantly like grabbing punk girls with no tits.
Yeah, it was really like the guy was like very into super flat chested girls.
Both those guys are still around. Manara and
Creepax.
Libator.
Oh, Libator.
Creepax might be. I don't know about Creepax, but Libator and Manara, I think, are still. I think they still work. Yeah.
Well, God bless them. Here's to Milo Manara and fucking Liberatore, whatever his name is,
Uh,
Sergio.
but Ghost in the Shell, to circle back.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, I think I watched it around that same time that I probably first saw the Akira, and I just remember being completely baffled. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, I know. That's that's the same way that I felt when I first saw it as well. But then, like, they used to actually show it on TV. Like in Canada, they had like on the cartoon channel equivalent. They would show like fucking
Canuck tunes.
Yeah, Canuck tunes. They'd have like Ghost in the Shell they play, and they'd also play like some other ones that they'd play like what do you call it? Macross Plus. They play like the Escaflowne movie, some Gundam shit. I never liked any of that stuff. That stuff I found to be too complicated and too melodramatic. Whereas Ghost in the Shell was like, I remember. Okay, so what I used to do when I was a kid.
But all those other things are like series. Ghost in the Shell is just like a single movie.
Yeah, but Macross Plus. Okay, that was a movie. They had like a 4-parter that they condensed into a movie, and then they put it on. They released it as a movie, and they put it on TV during anime movie time. And Escaflowne had several movies, I believe, and Gundam had movies too. But they just juiced it. They juiced everything. They tried to just make as much stuff as possible. But like, what I used to do is I had a TV in my room, like a really, really small TV, like the size of a laptop, fucking computer, like with a VCR in it, Sure. And I had what I used to do is I used to make, so I could smoke weed in my room. I made like a bong out of like a Coke bottle and the antenna for a radio. Did you ever do this when you were a kid?
I didn't smoke weed as a kid, but
okay. Well, anyways, like you take like the antenna from a radio, and then you heat it up and you press it through like the plastic of the bottle, and you like tape it up with like like hockey tape or something, like some kind of tape that like that has that has like some squishiness to it, and
like the MacGyver of weed,
right? No, I learned this from this other kid. So then what you do after that, you tape it all up and you make sure everything's all airtight, and then you smoke the weed through that, and you don't put a screen on the, like for the what do you call it? The radio antenna is so small, so you're doing a lot of them, but you don't put a fucking screen on the thing as the inside of the bowl, quote unquote. You take a little pinch of tobacco from a cigarette and you put it inside, and then you put the weed on top of it, so that when you smoke it, the weed cooks, and then eventually the tobacco that's holding it up also cooks, and it all falls through into the water. So then like there's nothing left, and you have all the smoke inside your lungs. And then here's the secret part, is you have like a paper towel roll that's stuffed full of dryer sheets, like for the
peels.
Yeah, banana peels. No, dryer sheets for like, to make your laundry smell good. Sure. And you can just exhale through that, and it catches all of the weed smell, and then all that comes out on the other end is just like laundry smell. So like my room would just smell like laundry, and but I was getting so fucking high in that room watching those anime movies, and when I watched Ghost in the Shell, I just have this like very vivid memory, ironically, because I was so high, of watching Ghost in the Shell and really paying attention to it, and just being like, and then going to school the next day and just being like, just unable to think about anything else, because I was just so like affected by Ghost in the Shell. But because it actually is like this really like the most in the same way that Videodrome is kind of like, oh shit, that like, how did they fucking know that's how it would be like all the way back then? Like how was someone be able to sort of like reach so far into the future and like understand kind of like where people would be? Same thing with Ghost in the Shell, like because it really is about, it really is about AI, and kind of AI being kind of the next evolution in human life, like, and also how life can kind of like emerge from just the pool of information of the internet. Like once there's just a pool of information that's just so packed with information, all you need is just some sort of program to just kind of go in and be programmed to sort of self-assemble using its environment. Like just it's a simple program, and then the thing just kind of grows, and then next thing you know, you have something that's like approximating a sentient life form, you know, and that's kind of what Ghost in the Shell is about. And then all the cyberpunk stuff, like the one of the things that I've always noted as being like a good like a really great sort of sci-fi let's say like a method by which to do sort of action sci-fi is to like have your main idea, but then also have like a piece of cool speculative weaponry. So for example, like the movie, here's a bad example, the movie Eraser. Like the movie's about Arnold Schwarzenegger helping Vanessa Williams, like, you know, erase her identity. He's like the eraser. But then like the speculative piece of technology are these handheld railguns. So it's kind of like there are two concepts in this film. One of them is like, okay, you know, the idea of like a guy whose job it is, like this cool special forces guy who erases people, and then also handheld railguns. That's the movie, you know?
Okay.
And then another one is do you remember, it's another bad example, remember Looker, that Michael Crichton movie?
Yeah, I remember Looker. Yeah,
so like Looker is like the idea of like, okay, taking, you know, scanning models so that you don't have to use models anymore. And then also the speculative piece of like technology is like a light that can like a beam that you can shoot into someone's eyes that makes the guy who shoots it invisible, and then you can like so like those are the two things. And then there's like that movie Runaway with Tom Selleck. Did you ever see that one?
Does it have Gene Simmons in it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
he's the bad guy. The thing about that one is like, oh, there's robots everywhere, and Tom Selleck is like a guy who chases down robots that are malfunctioning or whatever, but then like Gene Simmons is a guy who has got a gun, and when you shoot the bullet out of the gun, he can control the bullet, like using like, I guess, some kind of like remote control that's hooked up to his brain, so he can control the bullet and he can wind through hallways and go up elevator shafts and then shoot someone. So it's sort of just this like like a remote control sort of, you know, essentially like a drone, like an FPV drone,
right?
But it's a bullet. Anyways, Ghost in the Shell is like, you know, all the fucking the cyberpunk stuff, but then like the speculative tech is like being able to be invisible. They call it thermoptic camouflage, where you have like a material that can like, you know, I guess
it's like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the ring from Lord of the Rings when you put it on.
Or just like Harry Potter.
They also have this other thing in Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, magic wands.
Yeah, magic wands. They have this other thing in Ghost in the Shell that's like, they call it high velocity ammunition, where it's like instead of gunpowder inside of a bullet, it's a regular looking bullet, but inside of the part where they'd have gunpowder, they have some kind of like much stronger explosive. So that the bullets fire much, much faster, like almost like approaching like maybe like, I don't know, like a quarter of the speed of light or something. Mm-hmm. So you have to have like a more reinforced weapon to use it. But it's the kind of thing where it's like, you know, regular ammunition can maybe like, you know, put little holes in the door of a car, whereas like HV ammo can just like tear apart the door of a car. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, there's tons of fucking stuff in there, man. Like tons of meat. I don't know. I'm going off about just sort of Ghost in the Shell's, just, you know, sort of the unimportant details of it. But like, it's so sick. Like everything about it is so good. I can't think of any kind of flaw in it. And like, I guess
the big flaws. It's hard to understand what's going on.
Not if you get
fucked up.
Not if you get fucked up. Not if you smoke weed.
Well, maybe I need to rewatch and get like, and maybe I'll do some Special K and I'll watch it.
Yeah, just like go down the street and get some fentanyl,
some oxy
from that lady with her ass, who holds her ass open on the street. Okay, fuck. Let's let's talk about our movie of the day, which is Richard Jewell,
Right.
right? And I tried to watch that.
I thought we were
that-
going to do Killer Clowns again.
Yeah. Well, we're going to save that one later, maybe for the anniversary.
Part
of,
3.
Part 3. Yeah, we'll talk about the the cultural significance of Killer Clowns. We'll talk about it when Killer Clowns gets put into the Library of Congress.
And what about
special episode.
what about the speculative technology in Killer Clowns? They have the popcorn gun.
Yeah, they have the popcorn gun. They got the fucking the
And then the popcorn gives birth to little clown snakes.
Yep, and they have the cotton candy cocoon gun,
Yeah,
which also
see?
doubles as the balloon gun. There's tons, and they got. I mean, that whole movie is just full of. Maybe that's why I like it so much. It's so full of speculative clown technology.
Circus technology.
Yeah. I tried to watch the Manhunt. I found it, and I was like, oh, this is a series. I'm not gonna try. I'm not trying to watch.
It's like 4 episodes or something.
It's like 10, dude. It's like
oh,
a
really?
lot.
10? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I watched. I watched.
I had watched that when it came out,
Yeah.
and so that had a big impact on watching this.
Oh no.
Like I had to compare everything through the lens of having seen the series, which I guess is a Netflix. It was a Netflix series.
Yeah. No, was it? That makes sense, actually.
I don't know where else. What other? I can't even remember where I
know what it
saw
was.
it or how I saw it.
It was. It's like. I think it might be Stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I saw it, but I just remember watching it,
Right.
and I remember liking it.
Really? Did you like the? Did you like the Unabomber one? Did you ever see that?
It was yeah, I did. It was okay.
Yeah. So the one we're talking about is called Manhunt: Deadly Games, and it came out in 2020, which is a year after. Like, it's ridiculous. It's a year after Richard Jewell came out.
Right.
So Richard Jewell kind of, got there first, and then this other series came along. Is it called Deadly Games?
That sounds right.
I'm just trying to look it up on the phone. Oh yeah, it's called Deadly Games Manhunt series. Oh my bad. Oh dude, my bad. Okay, so hold on. Manhunt came out 2017. That was the Unabomber one.
Okay.
And then later on, the Deadly Games one came on in 2000. And
2000.
yeah.
So
sorry, 2020. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, 2020.
And then the movie came out when?
2019.
Okay.
Hold on, let's take a look. Richard Jewell. I'm almost certain that it's that I'm right about that.
I believe you.
Sam Worthington. Oh my God, why do they make the casting so hard to look at? But anyways, the point is that Richard Jewell came out 2019, as I said, and I watched the first episode of that last night, and I was like, and I was with my girlfriend, and we just watched Richard Jewell recently too. I mean, rewatched it. We'd already seen it before, but it's just, I mean, I'm very curious to know what your perception is, because like, I fucking hate the guy who plays Richard Jewell in the Manhunt series, and I hate the mom. All the actors I just think are vastly inferior to Richard Jewell. I don't like the angle. The angle that, I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but the angle that Clint Eastwood takes in Richard Jewell in 2019 is the sort of the relationship between him and the lawyer. Like, that's the big thing. Right. I think that's what makes the whole thing work. I also think that kind of the quality of performance from what's his name, fucking John Paul fucking Hauser or whatever his name is. I forget the name of the guy who plays Richard Jewell.
Yeah, I don't know. John Paul Jones, Paul Walter Hauser, Philip Seymour Hoffman. But like that, like his particular sort of, because that's the thing is they make him in the Manhunt series
It's like he's sort of just this regular, like very regular guy. Like he's just sort of just, and he's got a lot more like self-respect than he does in 2019. In 2019, the character is a little bit like, he plays this kind of pathetic guy, but sweetly pathetic guy, you know?
Right.
And whereas in the TV series, he's more of just like he's got he's less lovable is the thing. He's got less of a fucking I don't know, just like the kind of personality that like kind of makes you want to root for him. And then the whole shit happens in the first episode, and then I guess like I just watched the trailer for like the series, and it's like so much of it is about like what the bomber does like afterwards and all this stuff.
Right, and that is something that because I remember when the bombing happened. I remember when Richard Jewell. I remember the whole thing, except that I remember him being sort of maybe not necessarily exonerated, but he definitely was sort of like, yeah, we've looked into it, and it doesn't seem likely that we have any kind of case here, but we really don't know. And then, and I didn't know that they had discovered the real guy that did it. Like that was like, when you compare, like at the time when it happened, like Richard Jewell was fucking all over the fucking place. He was just like on every paper. He was all over the news. This is the guy. He fits the profile. He's the guy. He's the guy. And then it's just kind of funny that like when they actually found the guy, like that was not on the front page of the news. Like that just kind of happened quietly. And it was barely, because I have no memory of them finding this Randolph guy, the actual bomber. So watching that series, it was sort of educational in that way. I didn't know that they had found that guy. I didn't know that he was living in the woods. Like I just felt like, oh, I guess they just never solved the case. But yeah, I found that all enlightening.
Yeah, good. I mean, I get my news from PsyOp Anime. You get it from the Manhunter series.
But the other thing that I did like about the series is I felt like the portrayal of the Scruggs journalist woman, was more accurate to the reality. I think, because I remember watching the series and reading a little bit about the situation afterwards. And I don't think she, like in the Clint Eastwood movie, she has sort of a moment of regret. Like, he didn't do it. I don't think that happened in reality. I think she stood by what she had done. I don't think she had a moment where she was like, I don't think he did it. I don't think that happened. Right. And in fact, he sued her,
for defamation.
I think successfully.
Yeah.
Both of them died young. I think she seemed to be like a major like alcoholic pillhead.
Right.
Like, drug addict. So her kind of like, she's not played sympathetic. Like she's more sympathetic, like because she has that moment in the Clint Eastwood movie of like, maybe being a reporter, journalist with no ethics or morals and sleeping with FBI agents maybe it's not the way to go.
Yeah. That
doesn't happen in the series, which I like that.
You like that? Yeah. I mean, yeah, like Clint Eastwood, he's like, I think that he's kind of, he maybe he'd never admit it, but I think that he kind of like, tends to follow sort of like a Spielbergian kind of storytelling.
He can be corny. He can be very corny. There's a corniness to, especially a lot of his later work. Yeah. Sometimes it works. Like Gran Torino is great. I like that movie a lot. But $1 Million Baby, and is that the fighting one? The
Yeah.
boxing woman, and Mystic River, and like those seemed kind of corny to me.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you saw Juror Number 2,
Nope.
which it was good, but there was just an element to it that like just it just seemed so ridiculous that it just seemed kind of it just was making me laugh. But there was this corny sort of purity to, like, doing what's right. And
Well, so the thing about what are some other sort of like Clint Eastwood movies like that are like what are some themes that we see sort of running through like Clint Eastwood's body of work? Like I think that like let me just get a fucking list up here. Like after like sort of High Plains Drifter and all that crap, like going into like the 90s. I mean, I know like A Perfect World with Kevin Costner, which I mentioned one time on the show.
yeah,
Hold on a second. Clint.
well, there's The Unforgiven that he got
Sure.
the Academy Award for, which
Yeah.
I remember seeing. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember like being somewhat disappointed.
Yeah, the thing about that movie that always made me be like, what the fuck, like that just never clicked with me was like how nobody in the entire movie ever commented on how Morgan Freeman was black. Like no one ever said anything about that, and I was like, it feels like that would be a thing that would be said a lot,
Right.
and they would make him go and like drink out of a horse trough or something, like like get the
Sure.
fuck out of this fucking bar or whatever. But the fact that was never addressed, I was like, what the fuck? This is bizarre. American Sniper, that's the big one.
He directed American Sniper.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
And then also in the line of fire with who plays the fucking killer in the Line of Fire with the plastic gun? John Malkovich. Did you ever see that?
Is Gene Hackman in that?
I mean, he's got to be. No, he's not.
Yeah,
Clint Eastwood, John Malkovich.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's like Plastic Gun. John Malkovich is coming back to me. I think I did see it, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, Gene Hackman's not in it. Yeah, I mean, like that. Yeah, that movie's not one that I like. Mystic River's the one where Tim Robbins gets fucked by a couple old men, right?
It's like some girl, somebody gets killed, and Tim Robbins gets blamed. Like,
yeah, but he's like a victim of getting raped as a child, right?
I guess. I just remember just like it was one of those things that like everybody was accusing him of murdering some woman, and he doesn't even say like, yeah, I didn't do it. He just sits there like a fucking zombie.
Yeah.
And he like, and then like everybody's sort of just like, yeah, he did it. And he won't even say that he didn't do it. And that was like bugging the shit out of me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what is he, retarded? He's clearly not retarded. Like,
well, but he's been like, he was like fucked as a kid a lot. He was abducted as a child and just fucked every which way that you could think by like just two weird old guys with like sock garters.
But him not even denying the accusation, it just felt like a plot device to keep the wrongfully accused plot line going.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I didn't like that at all.
I don't disagree. I'm just trying to like mostly just trying to like remind you of like what the Tim Robbins' character is.
Just because you got raped doesn't mean like you can't say, yeah, I was raped in the ass, but I have to tell everybody right now, I didn't kill the lady in the park.
Well, maybe they when they raped him, they ruptured the part of his brain that defends himself against accusations.
Yeah. I guess so. They should have made that clear, like at the like at the end of Psycho, where the guy comes on and describes like why Norman Bates dressed as his mother and killed people. They should have said like, what? Well, the reason that Tim Robbins let people accuse him of murder and then lynch him was
because he got fucked too hard.
And his brain couldn't fucking the speech part of his brain became inactive.
They could do it
kind of like all the cum drenched that part of his brain.
Remember in Ricky Ho, like how when the guy punches the guy in the face, they do like an X-ray shot of like they could do it like that, except it would be like a penis, and then like maybe they're fucking him in the mouth, and then the penis like pokes like a part of his brain. That's terrible. That's something that I would think of when I was 14. That's just upsetting that I just said that. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry, listeners.
Now I'm horny.
Yeah, now Johnny's horny. He pulled out his penis and he's showing it to me. But I mean, have you seen American Sniper?
No.
Okay, well that I think that informs. That's a good sort of excuse me, counterpoint to Richard Jewell because they're both kind of like they're both about like maybe there's a period of time that Clint Eastwood was going through, but they're like both about like sort of these people who are trying to do the right thing, but like it's the system that like won't that's the bad guy, and it's just like, why, it's so difficult to do the right thing in America these days because like the system is designed to make whatever, like
bureaucracy.
Yeah, sure, that's exactly it. The enemy is just the bureaucratic system and
right.
and the faceless fucking government, the bureaucratic system that's that's getting in the way of just like justice and people doing what's right, etc. That's the whole thing here with Richard Jewell. Not to be confused with Tom Pearl. I used to confuse that a lot. Do you know who Tom Pearl is?
No.
Tom Pearl's this guy on the internet who would shit into a bowl, like a salad bowl, and then just eat it on camera. He'd be like, "Hi, my name's Tom Pearl, and I'm going to eat my diarrhea for you today." And he'd shit in a bowl, and then he would stand there and just eat it. And it was
Clint Eastwood makes a movie about him.
Yeah, exactly. And how like the bureaucratic system got in the way of him achieving his dreams. Yeah, you got to watch a video. Like I think everybody in their life should watch one of these Tom Pearl videos.
I might have seen it, but it's like I don't know him as an actual person with a name. Somebody just probably sent me a video of somebody like eating their own shit.
Well, he always like very politely introduces himself, so I always remembered his name. He's like, "Hello, my name's Tom Pearl, and I'm going to eat my diarrhea for you today. I've been looking forward to this. I haven't had diarrhea in a while, but I'm going to eat it. I'm going to shit in this bowl and eat it for you."
Where's he now?
I have no idea, but like,
give him a cameo in your next movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd be afraid to leave him alone. I'd be afraid to like what he's going to do at craft services. But,
like the Safdies always like put like cameos of like fucking little New York weirdos. Just like fill your movie with like internet weirdo scumbags.
Yeah, like the really bad ones, like Tom Pearl. But you can see how Tom Pearl and Richard Jewell are kind of similar names. Like, just they both have sort of like a valuable item as their last name. Sure. Anyways, all right. So I mean, the film opens and Richard Jewell is working as a supply clerk at a sort of a like a small claims sort of law firm, and Sam Rockwell plays Watson Bryant, who's like working at that firm at the time, and he's very heavy-handedly Clint Eastwood's letting you know that this is like a guy. He's a scrappy guy who likes to stand up against authority. He's like, yeah, well, you know what? Fuck you. You can come down here. The address is fucking 135 Maple Street. Yeah, I'll fucking be here waiting for you if you want to say it to my face. All right. Yeah, you have a good day too, Senator. And he hangs up the phone, and you're like, whoa. And then Richard Jewell goes by and gets him like a Snickers bar, and then later on they're at the arcade, and he's like,
because he snooped around in his drawers or
Yeah,
in
yeah.
his trash, and he saw that he ate Snickers. So
yeah, so like right off, I mean, and that's not bad. Like that's like Richard Jewell is trying to do the right thing. His heart's in the right place and he's well-meaning, but he's also like
he's
creep.
proactive.
He's a creep, and he'll snoop around in your trash and to figure out kind of like how he can make you happy. But then also he'll like admit to it. He'll be like, "Well, I went through your trash." Like he's bragging about it. He's bragging about how clever
he goes above and beyond the Call of Duty,
right?
And sometimes to an illegal extent.
Right. Very much like Tom Pearl, but
I don't think anything Tom Pearl did was illegal. You are allowed. You still are allowed to eat your own shit.
Well, what I'm saying is that he goes above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he heeded the Call of Duty.
Right after this, I'll send you one of these videos. Like this, you gotta see this. It's so fucking gross, but you'll
See it.
you'll I think that you'll think it's funny though. Like it's so gross, but once you get past it, like once you get past how disgusting it is, it's just like, what the holy shit? Like it's just the funniest thing. And it's, well, I don't know. I mean, my experience was like I wanted to show everybody.
Now I want to look up. I just want to see the guy's Wikipedia page and see what.
I think it's gonna be one of those like those sort of other wikis, you know, like wiki freak
wiki
or wiki shit, wiki turd,
Wikiria.
Yeah, Wikiria. But okay, so then like later on, Sam Rockwell and Richard Jewell are at the arcade, and they have a little sort of moment, sweet little moment of them playing like a rail shoot, or I guess at the time they're just playing like an arcade gun game, and they're becoming sort of friends, like just, you know, work friends. And it also shows that Sam Rockwell, you know, he doesn't give a fuck who the hell you are. He'll give you a fair shake. He's a good guy. They're both good guys in a different ways. So then Richard Jewell leaves the firm, and he gets a job as security at a college campus, and he ends up like pushing over a kid. He just goes a little too far, and then he's
a little too
fired.
Aggressive.
He's getting fired, and then the dean of the college or whatever is like, Are you stopping people on the highway, like to check in their cars for drugs? Are you impersonating a fucking officer? Like all this stuff. And he's like, yes, but I'm doing it because like then the drugs will never make it to campus. You know, like you didn't want any Mickey Mouse. It was your words. You said you didn't want any Mickey Mouse on the campus. And I took your vague term of Mickey Mouse as I should impersonate an officer. And
I like how the dean of the college is all sort of like, oh, he got me.
Yeah. Well, I did say Mickey Mouse.
I did say Mickey Mouse, and that sort of is an umbrella for anything. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah. So should I?
Mickey Mouse, and that means like break the law, do whatever the fuck you want, and now I'm to blame.
So do you want me to? Do you want to resign, or should I fire you right now? So Richard Jewell loses his job. Flash forward a little bit, and now he's a security guard, and he's, hopefully he's learned a thing or two since then. He's settled down a little bit. I believe he has. I think that those kind of like those things that are those bizarre things that he was doing are kind of things that he did like early in his journey. Right. And now he's sort of like, okay, you can't fucking impersonate a cop. You can't you have to just sort of stay within the parameters of what you're supposed to do.
He's slightly retarded.
Yeah, he is slightly retarded. He's dim. How about that?
Right.
Yeah. He's a dim man. And he's now working as a private security for a show, like an outdoor concert, like a blues festival.
No, this was for the Olympics.
Yeah, right? I know. But it was for the Olympics, but it's like,
so this was this is sort of like one of the opening shows, or like one of the events that they have around during the Atlanta Olympics.
Okay, yeah.
One of them being Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers.
And then the one that the next night, uh, the one that where the bomb actually went off, I read that it was Jack Mack and the heart attack.
Yep,
which is ironic because he then dies of a heart attack later on.
He it is in the movie too. Like that's his favorite. That's Richard Jewell's favorite band. Is Jack Mack
and the heart attack.
And the heart attack. And
it's also his favorite way to die.
Right. Also, after Kenny Rogers, everyone does the Macarena, including that reporter, Scruggs, Olivia Wilde's character.
Right.
And she's like, "Come on," to John Hamm. "Well, I don't want to do the Macarena. I don't want to do it."
I have to say, like some of the, a lot of this part, this like recreation of the scene and the crowd, like it felt like I was watching like a TV movie. Like
I agree. It's small. It's like doesn't have.
And you can kind of tell like when people are doing a crowd scene like this, and like they have to kind of spread everyone out so the crowd looks bigger than it is.
Yeah.
And just the way everybody's acting, it just feels like, okay, this just looks fake.
Yeah, it does. I noticed that as well. It doesn't feel. It feels more like it doesn't feel like Kenny Rogers is in town. It feels like just some sort of like local fucking jazz festival, like that they would have like in Toronto on the water.
It looks like they're watching like a Kenny Rogers impersonator. They don't look. They really don't look like they're watching Kenny Rogers.
Yeah,
they're watching the Kenny Rogers Experience.
Yeah, can you imagine? No, Mama, come! It's Kenny Rogers for real. And the Kathy Bates shows up, and she's like, "Oh, I love him. I love the gambler." You know, and it's really just he tricks her. It's just like an impersonator. It's a good idea, actually. When my mom gets too old, I'll go take her to see like I don't know who's my mom's favorite fucking
Pearl Jam impersonator.
Yeah. I'll go take her to see Pearl Jam. I'll get her to see Tom Pearl.
Tom Pearl Jam.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So Richard Jewell, you see how people treat him. Like those teenagers are just like, "Fuck you, you fat rent-a-cop. Hey, Piggy, fuck you." And they they're breaking beer bottles. He chases them away. He's like, "All right, I'm going to go get a real cop," and then during all this, there's a bad guy and he like puts down
even the teenagers felt like all the teenage activity felt fake.
Well, I mean,
like it was you just kind of tell, like, I don't know, this movie's made by like an old guy.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, like, you teenagers act all teenagery.
Yeah, you go. All right, so now I want you guys to act, like a bunch of greasers. You're playing a bunch of greasers.
Did you ever hear the Fonz?
Yeah.
What you act like?
Okay, so imagine the Fonz, but imagine like a bad guy.
Sal Mineo. What would he be doing?
Yeah. What's the name? What are those guys? The
Sha-na-na.
The big ragu. What's that from?
Oh, that's from Laverne and Shirley. Lenny and Squiggy.
Yeah, exactly. So you act like the Fonz. You're Lenny. You're Squiggy. Yeah,
and you're the big ragu.
Yeah, you're the big ragu.
Big Ragu was actually a good guy.
Oh, my bad.
He wasn't a juvenile delinquent. Like
he wasn't a Jew.
Squiggy.
Okay, so yeah, those teenagers they do some shit, and then during this whole thing, Richard Jewell discovers a backpack, and he decides to call it in because he.
Actually, the kids discovered the backpack, and they're like fucking with it.
Oh, do they? Oh yeah. They're like,
because remember that was like a plot point that like because they were fucking with it and they pushed it over in that particular way, like the nail bomb was supposed to blow out into the crowd. So it was like, but because the kids pushed it over, it blew up. And so nobody was really, it killed far less people than it probably would have.
Yeah. It killed one person and it injured like 110 people or something. But nobody, but mostly it was like not that big of a deal.
But those kids are the real heroes.
It's true. It's true. Wait, let's track them down. We need to give them the medal of what do you call it? The Congressional Medal of Honor. So yeah, the bomb explodes. Like after Richard Jewell kind of does his due diligence to kind of like clear the area and like expand the perimeter around the bomb, etc. And and then everyone's like, "Oh, Richard Jewell's a hero," and then and it's on the news, and then you have that scene of Sam Rockwell like catching it on the news and being like, "Huh, good for you, Radar," because he calls him Radar. This is his nickname. From and he goes, the first time he says, he's like, "I'm gonna call you Radar." He's like, "From MASH," and he's like, "Ugh, get the fuck out of here, disgusting fat imbecile." So
Gaydar.
Yeah, Gaydar. So then
should have gone Gaydar.
Let's just sort of individually talk about, like, I love the characters in this movie. I must say, like, I like Richard Jewell. What's his name? The Hauser guy.
Yeah.
I think he's good. Let me just get him on hand so I can say him.
He's good.
Paul Walter Hauser. I think
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson. Sam Rockwell as Watson Bryant. You famously have told me that you don't like Sam Rockwell, and I'm just
not usually. He's fine here.
I think he's great here. He's like I'm so behind what he's doing. I'm 100% behind him.
I guess. I mean, I just like he does a fine job, but I'm not really like there were some volleys between him and the FBI that I thought he could have said something snappier or wittier.
Yeah. The part where he goes to the news office and he bitches out fucking Olivia Wilde. Like, I wish that he had been crueler to her.
Yeah, any of those, like there's a few of those moments where, like, those confrontational moments, and I just wanted him to be just wittier.
Yeah.
More clever with his retorts, and I mean, that's not his fault, but he was fine.
If it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage, buddy.
Exactly.
So, Kathy Bates as the mom, I also like.
She's fine.
John Hamm is a good, like, opposite fucking Paul Walter Hauser, as sort of like, what Richard Jewell kind of like would die to be, like a guy, like a square jawed, handsome FBI guy like that.
I kind of he felt a little bit flat.
I think I agree with you, but
I think if he was a little bit more, not that they like, just like a little twinkle in his eye of like a real snake. Like, I know they're trying to play him as, have the sort of, like you said, the square jawed, perfect cop guy. But he also has to be a little sleazy too, and just a little bit. And I felt like he doesn't have the acting ability to pull that off. That's
actually you were saying before that, like, Kathy Scruggs, who's played in this by Olivia Wilde, she's kind of let off the hook in this one, and John Hamm is sort of characterized as sort of the origin of all the bad things that happen to Richard Jewell,
right?
And to some degree, Olivia Wilde is like, she's definitely not a good person, but she's very much led to, like, really what happens here is that the FBI was there to make sure that the fucking this event was safe. They allowed a bomb to get in. They allowed a bomb to go off, and they see a way to. Well, okay, we let the bomb go off, but we caught the guy. That's what they want to say, And the easiest sort of way to do that is to sort of pin it all on this.
Well, if you
Tom
remember
Pearl no, not Tom Pearl, Richard Jewell.
Richard Pearl.
Richard Pearl.
The thing that at least in the movie, the thing that triggers that is the dean of the college comes back into the picture because he sees Richard Jewell getting all this praise on the TV.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I can't, I saw this guy getting all this praise and I feel like you guys need to know this guy's a fucking whack job. He's, I had to fire him because he was this wannabe cop and he was like taking the law into his own hands and he was engaged in vigilante, behavior. And, so, you really need to sort of look at this guy before you, start crowning him the hero of the day. And so that kind of sparks the police interest. And also in addition to the fact that they have no other leads to anybody else that would do this other than those 911 calls, because the bomber calls and leaves messages at particular public payphones.
Yeah.
So that then sort of like sparks the whole investigation towards Richard. And like once he's kind of like fits that profile of the fake hero, suddenly, that becomes, he's the only suspect. And then because they also imply that Scruggs is fucking the FBI agent. She's getting information from the FBI agent in some way, and then revealing that the number one suspect is Richard Jewell, and the media just kind of like completely loves, because they seem to really love this story of the hero is actually the villain narrative. They embrace that fully, and then it's just like a tidal wave that can't be stopped.
A tidal wave that cannot be stopped. And it's just poor Richard Jewell standing there on the shore getting.
And he's such a dupe, and he's so dim that, even when he has moments of like, they try to con him into signing confessions and other things, and at least he has enough wherewithal to be like surprisingly, like they think they can fucking totally dupe him because he is a simpleton, and he's so eager to please the FBI because he wants to be FBI or he wants to be in law enforcement in some way, that they think they can dupe him. So like when he's able to, they want him to sign like some kind of confession or something, he's like, well, maybe I should get my lawyer to look at this.
Yeah.
My Snickers lawyer. Then fortunately he's able to have the wherewithal to call Sam Rockwell to come and help him.
It's smart, like from a writing, sort of a minor point, but like having him reconnect with him, because he wanted him to look over a book deal,
right?
And kind of like, it's like, oh, okay, so he's back in touch with the guy, so he's kind of like, don't you sign anything until I look at it first, and that kind of like stuck with him. The thing about Richard Jewell is that he is dim, but he does remember everything. Like you
get the sense that like he's is aware of the law. Like he's not that retarded. Like he's almost like, I guess, he knows what the law is, and he knows, if he signs, he knows enough to know that if he signs his name onto a document that, he's literally, this isn't just play acting. He's literally signing his name to something that he didn't do.
Yeah.
And he does get somewhat suspicious.
Remember the time in the movie where he, they're seizing all of the items in his house, and then they're like, "Oh, Richard, come over here with me. Can you just call this number and say that you did the bombing?" And he's like, "All right, no problem." And he's like, "Yeah, there's a bomb at the Olympics or whatever, like."
And the lawyer, like, because they see that the lawyer is like busy with the reporters, so
right.
they like lure him in and try to get him like, can you say I did the bombing?
Yeah.
and state your name and address.
Yeah, yeah. This is the only way to clear your name. It's the only way that that we're going to be able to clear your name. Anyway, so let's just kind of we don't have to go beat by beat for like anymore. We can kind of just talk, I guess, more broadly about the film. Like again, like I think that this, you know, this is sort of another Clint Eastwood movie where the enemy is, as we said before, like just, you know, the the system. You know, it's just sort of, it's not really. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, actually no, like it's the, in this case it's like just some FBI guy who wants to cover his own ass. He kind of, in a sense, weaponizes the press, and it's just about, yeah, like as you said, this kind of tidal wave that comes and overwhelms this poor schmuck, this poor well-meaning schmuck. And
the 90s wasn't a good time for FBI law enforcement in America, because like you had Ruby Ridge, then you had Waco,
right,
and you had this. It was just like one total failure after another.
right. It's true. The FBI was, you know, it was a time in America where everyone was really seeing that, you know, there were some chinks in the armor.
Right.
There were some bad elements. It's just a bunch of fucking goofballs. As you get older in life, younger viewers out there, you'll realize that, like, you know, it's all just a bunch of fucking idiots. They're all a bunch of fucking idiots. Every single one of them. None of them are smart. They're all just dummies. That's why, and that's why gas prices are so high.
Yeah.
But as I said, like way back in the beginning of this discussion, what I think is the smartest. There's two things that I think are smart about this movie. One of them is zeroing in on the friendship between this lawyer and Richard Jewell. Right. I think that sort of anchoring the entire movie and their sort of relationship and this.
And I think that is necessary for a movie. Like because you're making this movie, it has to be about, you know, like you said, anchoring the events with the relationship between this lawyer guy and this Paul Blart guy.
Yeah, Paul Blart.
You know, that relationship, you know, it anchors the movie. It gives it a heart. Whereas that Manhunt series, I think, is just because it's 10 parts. It's just a dramatic retelling of the events, and it doesn't need that element so much. So you're just kind of getting, I guess, just it's more just like the facts. You're not getting the that dramatic. You don't need that dramatic anchor.
Yeah. You just want it to be sort of just a dramatization, and you want it to be
like
close.
This happened, and then this happened, and then because of that, this happened, and then that led to this, and then that led to this, and you know, you're not sort of like examining the relationships really between the characters as much,
right? And then the second thing that I think is smart is characterizing Richard Jewell in the way that they have in this film as just being as being like a guy who's not cool at all, like a guy who's not a cool guy. He's just like this, like because that's the thing is, okay, check this out. It's if he were just sort of this like, oh geez, I'm just trying to do the right thing, and he was this sweet guy who you like, yeah, through and through, that would kind of suck. But the fact that he is kind of like a little bit power hungry, and like
that's I mean, that was something that really happened. That was something that I remember being in the news of being like, oh, this guy did it, and he has this history. He's a wannabe cop. He he's
He wants to have authority. He wants to like throw his weight around.
He wants to have authority, and look at all these other examples of wannabe cops. Being serial killers or criminals. Like who's that big giant serial killer that?
You're the serial killer guy.
BTK? No, it was pre BTK. Did you see? You watched that show Manhunter, right?
Yeah.
Or Mindhunter. Mindhunter.
A little bit.
There was that one serial killer that kid kept visiting. He was already like arrested, but he was like a big, tall guy. I'm blank on his name. But he was a guy that wanted to be a cop. He used to hang out with cops. He was like 6'9" or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he would like go to the bar, hang out with cops. But I think like there was something wrong with him, and he couldn't pass the psychological exam or something. So he couldn't. So he wasn't able to be a cop, but he just like had these dreams of being a cop. And, he might have also pretended to be a cop and like pulled people over and killed them.
Cool. Yeah. Well, anyways, like I just like making him kind of that the combination of sort of like sweet, kind of like butterball mama's boy, but then also like having these
mental problems.
Yeah, like having this sort of I don't know, like this bizarre ambition to like be to be like a hero, or like maybe not a hero, but like just a guy with authority.
Well, it fits that profile. Like, okay, he wants to be a cop. He wants to be a big shot cop, and like he's okay, so he wants this, so he obviously created this situation to get people to see him as a potential police officer,
right?
And he can move out of the mall cop role and finally achieve his dream of being a real cop, because now he's a hero that saved the Olympics.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think it helps the story. Like it helps make the point of the story, because if it's just sort of like this, this very cut and dry sort of thing. I mean, it is pretty cut and dry as it is, but like,
I disagree.
Say again?
I said I disagree. I still think he's guilty.
I love that.
I think he's fucking guilty as fuck.
No, okay.
And he fits the profile, and that's that.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I ain't living next door to him.
You're just trying to have sex with Olivia Wilde.
I think that if in 2026, if I just tell her that I think that Richard Jewell is guilty, Olivia Wilde will fuck me.
Just suck your penis. No, like in terms of like the point that's being like, okay, what I'm saying is cut and dry in terms of like how you're supposed to feel about Richard Jewell is the good guy. He didn't do it. That's what the audience is supposed to think.
Right.
But to sort of make the point of like sort of this, the bureaucratic system, the fucking, the powers that be being like the enemies that oppress the common man who's just trying to do what's right. Which I think is the main theme of the story. I think that
it's just like Wrongfully Accused with Leslie Nielsen,
right, right, or The Accused, starring
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster on the Willow arcade machine, or the pinball machine, or whatever. Anyway.
I thought it was the pool table.
No, it was I think it was a pinball machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of Firstborn, Peter Weller.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. Do you remember on the show we talked about how awesome it would be if the final bit of that movie was Peter Weller smashing through the pinball machine. Like he punches him out and then he falls backwards into the pinball machine.
Yeah.
Like that would have been they like, why didn't that happen? Like they teed it up. And they didn't go through with it. And then that becomes a 5 out of 5, you know? But anyways, I mean, now we've really devolved into like referencing, just talking about other fucking shows that we've done. Talk about fucking incestuous.
That's how long we've done this.
Yeah. Well, this is episode 60, by the way. So we're finally up to like the numbers representing my own IQ.
So let me know when we get to 69.
Yep. 69, my favorite pastime.
That's my guy Q.
Let me my guy Q. Let me read negative reviews of Richard Jewell off Rotten Tomatoes. From Jonathan Ikonen. Itkonen. What the hell kind of name is that? It is important.
He sounds like a legitimate guy with a particular point of view.
He sounds like he's from
Planet
X. Yeah, that's fine. Probably South African. The worst kind of white people, by the way. It is important to acknowledge the film's merits because it makes the following carry more weight. This is a polished piece of propaganda masquerading as a prestige picture. How is it propaganda? What's the propaganda here? That the FBI is bad?
FBI is flawed.
Okay.
Don't trust the FBI.
I wonder what fucking Jonathan Itkonen what his political fucking leaning is. And he gave it like 1 out of 5.
Like, did you watch? There was like a series about Waco that was on Netflix a few years back.
I did actually. Yeah, I watched that.
And that one I see could be argued as being a piece of propaganda because, what's his name? David Koresh and his group, like he was portrayed as just a man of God, just trying to have his religion and have his little thing going on. And all the people that were in the compound, and they were all good people. Everybody's good. And then the evil FBI comes in and they're basically like the evil empire from Star Wars coming in trying to like keep this guy from worshiping God the way he wants and take his weapons away. And that was very black and white. And I can see that being a piece of propaganda. A piece of propaganda for sort of don't tread on me libertarian types? I guess. I mean, it was very clear that like this is like these are the good guys. It wasn't played as like, okay, maybe there was some creepy stuff going on with David Koresh and his people, and maybe there was actually some people like you didn't feel like you were getting a balanced view of like a gray, like just everything was like very black and white. There was no gray, which is sort of always highly suspect. But yeah, here I remember it going down and it very much was, it seemed very much like this guy was just some simpleton they started accusing him and then he was like also railroaded by the press as well. And it seemed fairly accurate. Did you know that Jonah Hill was originally supposed to play Richard Jewell in this? That actually would have been good. You think so? I don't know, maybe. I don't think so at all, man. I think you need to have just sort of this like, because like Jonah Hill would have just he's got too, I mean, for better or for worse, like, Jonah Hill lights up the screen, he's got charisma. You need to like, he's too, and you know that he's like he's kind of a sharp guy. This Paul Thomas Watson guy, like he definitely is good at, getting sympathy. Like he just has like these big watery blue eyes and he's just so soft and gushy that you just sort of, you feel automatically like feel bad for him. Yeah. And he's like living with his mom and, he's got all these dreams and he's also he's He's very much like he's just trying his best, and maybe he goes a little too far, but his heart's in the right place.
His heart is in the right place. That part at the end where they go to get a formal I don't even know what you call that. Like to formally clear his name, like they go to the bureau and they actually get him to they get the bureau to sign papers saying that they're going to end the investigation. He's officially not a suspect anymore.
Yeah,
and he's
taking bites of that weird black burger.
No, he goes.
He's like eating like a black burger.
That's funny. That's funny that I don't even remember that. That's funny that you locked into that. But
I was kind of like, what is that? A donut or what is he eating? Because he wasn't eating it. He wasn't eating. He was eating it like with the two hands. And usually that's a burger.
Right.
Donuts like one hand.
Right. He maybe
I don't know what it was. It was like one of those black Burger King burgers.
Yeah, exactly. Like the ones they have in Japan. The ones that they started coming out with in Japan.
Yeah, the Halloween burger.
must have been around Halloween. He decided to get the seasonal combo.
Yeah, that's like one of those what were you talking about? Those ghosts in the shell speculative speculative sandwich.
That's a speculative technology. You got this black ass burger. No, what I was gonna say, so like there's that part where it's like why did you request to guard the fucking Kenny Rod or the what was the name of the guy? Mac Jack and the Heart Attack?
Jack Mac and the Heart Attack.
Why did you request to work at the Jack Mac and the Heart Attack show? He's like, well, I wanted to watch the pretty girls. I'm not gay. Because like there's a big thing about like saying that he was gay and he wanted to
well, they wanted to say that he had an accomplice because they couldn't prove that he made the phone call and dropped the bomb off like in time. Like that was like logistically impossible. So they were like, well, maybe he has an accomplice. So his friend must be his gay lover, and therefore that's how they did it.
They're doing that right now with the fucking Charlie Kirk guy. Like they're like they're gay. They have gay sex. They suck each other's pricks. Isn't that awful?
Well, actually, not gay. He's trans, so it's not gay.
Yeah, that's a man. Well, I mean, he wore a tie during sort of the interview.
Oh, okay.
So he's definitely identifying as mask, at least in a formal sense. But yeah, like that whole bit at the end. Can I ask you fellas something? What? This is John Hamm. It's like, at what point, I always thought that you guys were the good guys, but he gives this sort of like
he gives
very
a lecture.
This heartfelt little speech at the end that, and then
I always wanted to be like you, but now I don't because
exactly.
You're mean.
Yeah, you guys are actually not the good guys, and now. I used to think that lawyers were bad because they'd get criminals off, but now I'm in love with my gay lawyer, and we're going to go off and be gay together and have a black burger. So fuck you guys. So then he leaves, and then like time goes on, and Richard Jewell's now shaved his mustache, and he's working at I think he is a cop now. He's working at just as like
he becomes like a cop at some like small town situation.
Yeah. Right.
But,
and then
he died like very young. So.
He died when he was like 44 years old. Like he died like when he was my age. And they say that at the end. And then they also say that his mom still babysits the kids of the
lawyer.
Because
the lawyer marries his Russian secretary.
Yeah. This fucking Eurotrash.
But I think like that's what I did like about the series because it gets into the actual person who did it and finding it. Like it's not just like a little thing at the end where it's like, hey Richard, that guy that actually did the bombing. Well, they caught him. Okay, bye. I'll talk to you later.
No, that's not what I wanted of this movie. This movie is about this one guy getting railroaded.
Yeah, I guess, but it's just like it's hard to. Then they should have ended it before that. Like why even have that scene? It just seems so corny. Like just end it at him like giving the speech and walking out of the fucking office.
it puts a period on it. I don't think it's corny at all. I think what it is I think it's just kind of like it lets the audience know like, okay, like, you know, this was resolved. They eventually did find the guy. Like
they found the fake guy that did it. So you guess what? You got away with it.
Guess what, Richard? You got away with it. That's the thing. This is the thing. Like, you know, okay. Let's before I go ahead, let's go ahead and give a rating. I give this one a 3.5.
I'm gonna give it 2.5.
What? Okay, fair enough.
But
So-
I saw that series and
Yeah.
it affected my whole viewing.
Right. Okay. So like the real rating is 3.5. The cynical rating is 2.5. And also what's going to affect the rating of this film is whether or not you believe that Richard Jewell is innocent or not. Johnny doesn't believe he's innocent.
I don't. So I actually wanted to give it a 0.
because just like fucking Uzulian Mamulian, whatever his name was. This is just a piece of fucking propaganda.
Yeah, it's more Richard Jewell propaganda, flooding the zone.
More fucking bullshit, fucking Richard Jewell propaganda. You know, just everything else.
I looked up to see like, is there some sort of monument to Richard Jewell in Centennial Park? And there is.
Oh, really?
And it looks like fucking shit. Like it is like the most fucking pathetic. Like it's like a parallelogram with a star in it.
is that like his shape? Is
that's
just
his favorite shape. They said before he died. He said like my
Richard
favorite
Jewell
shape.
Memorial in Centennial Park.
I was expecting to see like somebody like erecting like a fucking 10-foot tall bronze statue of Richard Jewell, like his big fat gut hanging over his fucking belt and the baseball cap and like I thought like that would be pretty cool, but no,
it looks like the fucking blade of a carpet cutter.
It looks like a good stiff wind could just like blow it over.
Yeah. No, that's got some fucking width to it. Is it even made out of metal? It looks like it's made out of like plexiglass or some shit.
That's what I'm talking about. It just looks like it's like a temporary thing they put up for just like during the memorial service or something.
What is it supposed to like? What is the shape supposed to imply? It looks like a ticket coming out of a fucking machine. Like at a maybe it's referring to when he goes to Chuck E. Cheese to like in the beginning to when and he win the ticket out of the fucking the gun game that he was playing with Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, maybe it's like a Snickers wrapper.
Maybe it's a Snickers wrapper. Yeah. Well, there's like, is that Norfolk Southern cuts ribbon on Richard Jewell Memorial in Centennial Park. Yeah, well, that's what. Hold on, when did that happen? Probably after the 2021. So after you need to have a Clint Eastwood feature film made about you, and also a Netflix special made about you, and then afterwards you can get a memorial,
a rusty parallelogram in the middle of a shit fountain in Atlanta.
While you are already like long reduced to like a fucking dusty skeleton in the earth.
But I think there's probably people still walking around. If you ask them like who did this, do you remember the Centennial bombing? Who did it? I think most people would probably say Richard Jewell.
Well, that's what the movie does, man. Like that's what probably if you're from there. Well, I don't know actually.
But I'm just talking about like that's how the media handled it. Like there was no, like until I saw that miniseries, whenever that 2020, whenever that fucking came out, I didn't know that anybody had been caught. So
well, that's maybe like that's kind of like maybe why the movie had to be made, man. To clear his name.
I just thought Richard Jewell just got away with it. And
that's
so unless you happen to watch these movies, these, I'm sure there's plenty of people walking around who are sort of like, oh, that motherfucking Richard Jewell.
Well, it's important, man. You got to
fucking bomb the Olympics.
That's why it's important to like the public perception is so important. You gotta get Clint Eastwood in there to make a movie about you if you ever did anything wrong. Maybe someone will make a Clint Eastwood movie about you. And
I didn't do nothing wrong.
Clear your name
yet. For clear my name.
creating all those obscene comics.
Yeah.
They should have gotten fucking Clint Eastwood to do a movie about your pal Mike Diana.
Actually, well, that was Frank Henenlotter did it.
Oh, that's right, with the Jello Biafra doing but that was more of like a documentary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been better.
You want to do a live action dramatic version of that?
I think that would have been a lot better. It'd be kind of like like River's Edge, and a little bit of Funny Pages in there,
and kids,
and maybe also like a little bit of American Me, because when he's in jail, Dad. He gets bullied in jail.
Oh yeah,
a little bit of Mystic River, how he gets raped in jail.
Oh, what's that one with Kevin Bacon where like all the kids get raped in an orphanage and then
Sleepers?
Yeah, and then they grow up to have revenge on Kevin Bacon, the evil rapist.
Right, and then one of their friends is like a lawyer.
Yeah,
that's a big thing of in like a Time to Kill, like just sort of this idea of like sort of the courageous lawyer who's trying to get someone off the hook of like the death penalty.
Right.
Like that was a big thing for a while there, but that was
there's another movie where Kevin Bacon is playing like a retarded guy that Christian Slater is the lawyer to has to exonerate him.
I just watched Footloose.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
And Dirty Dancing, and also Flashdance.
I've never seen any of those.
Flashdance sucks. It's a bad movie. Like Footloose is actually like hilarious and good, and Dirty Dancing is like a movie for like old lady, like a mom or something, you know? It's like a mom movie. But Footloose is fucking good. Like there's a part in it where Kevin Bacon like gets angry and he dances out his frustrations.
Yeah, I do that.
And you do that? You got like, it has to be, I mean, this is from 1984, you know, I mean, it's old fucking news, but it literally has to
like
be.
I'm like, I have to pay this electric bill, and I start like snapping and popping.
Yeah, you start tutting like that like that girl in Friday the 13th Part 5.
The Bangles.
Yeah. Anyhow, all right, so we're done this fucking episode about Richard Jewell. I felt like we didn't really do a very good job, but I think that it's
neither did Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I think
it's fair.
I think that this is his best movie. I think.
Really? I don't think so. I like Gran Torino. I think Outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm talking about sort of his more modern movies, like his Outlaw Josie Wales is much better than this. But in terms of sort of like later, like sort of later
Eastwood, Gran Torino is my favorite. I'd have to go through and look, but I think, just off the top of my head, Gran Torino is probably the best.
I think Gran Torino is like you don't like it. I don't like it for real. I do like it, but I like it kind of more like in the same way that I like. I don't know. Like I like it ironically, like The Room.
Well, we're talking about Clint Eastwood later era movies.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna pick Gran Torino. Is it the best movie that I've seen ever of his? Definitely not. But
no, I understand like what the criteria is. The criteria is, old age Clint Eastwood. So like, let's say, I don't know, 2000 and forward. Okay. And yeah, for me, I think it's Richard Jewell. Nah. And you say it's Gran Torino. All right, fair enough.
Absolutely.
I think
Sound off in the comments.
I think Gran Torino. Yeah, I think Gran Torino is
Gran Torino.
Gran Torino is
version.
I think Gran Torino is a funny, not on purpose movie.
I think if you're familiar with Clint Eastwood films, then I think it's very on purpose.
Okay.
I think he knows that character is somebody that he's literally been playing his entire adult life. So I think he knows what he's doing in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Clint Eastwood films. Like I've seen, I'd say the majority of them.
And that movie is sort of very like there's a lot of corniness to it, like the whole thing with like, his family is a bunch of ingrates, and the sort of the way he connects with the
Hmongs.
What are they, like Vietnamese or Laotian or something?
They're Hmongs.
I don't know what that is.
They're like a kind of Chinese.
Okay. And sort of like, the kid doesn't have like a father figure, and he kind of steps in, and there's a lot of schmaltz to it, but in that case, I felt like it works very well.
Remember your criticisms of like the teenagers in Richard Jewell?
Yeah.
It's like, for me, that same criticism persists throughout Gran Torino.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like he, all these movies kind of have the same elements, but I feel in Gran Torino it works. And then most everything else, it just feels schmaltzy and out of touch.
Richard Jewell, number 1. I'm
no, sound off in the comments.
Sound off in the comments. Who's right? Who's right? Shit, this show's going on for way too long. All right, let's wrap it up. That's enough show. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.